They are America's first peoples and a significant part of American history, the Native American Indian. Theirs is a history unto itself of tribal cultures, family struggles, and most certainly an artistic heritage that Native Americans have been striving to protect for future generations. The beauty that Native American people have created over the centuries is truly a legacy to be treasured.
Every bracelet has a story to tell. Every basket has a story to tell. Every rug weaving has a story to tell. And each of those stories will correlate back to our total existence as American Indian people, as we live our daily lives.
Yet fine art created by the American Indian has often been pigeonholed as being simply Indian, hidden away in anthropological museums rather than featured in fine art venues, when in fact Native art and artists should be an integral part of American art, a showcase of cultures that has existed on the American continent for tens of thousands of years.
And yet there is no word for art in any of our native languages. This is simply the way that we live. And that is one reason why it's very important to preserve all these arts and cultures, because you're also preserving our way of life, our lifestyle, the continuation of our cultures, which have continued here on the North American continent for 10 to 20,000 years.
This is why the museum is so important to our society, for both the preservation and education about American cultures. It is said museums close the space between, and in this case, the word space means the understanding between Indians and non-Indians.
Well, the indigenous populations have been here for tens of thousands of years, and it's important that we preserve the heritage of the people who first settled this area. And, you know, the history of the Indian populations is a history of the Americas. It's a part of American heritage, as well as the heritage and cultures of the tribes.
This heritage of the American Indian truly comes alive at the Heard Museum of Native Cultures and Art in Phoenix, Arizona. Here, over 40,000 works of art span the centuries of the Native American Indian, from ancestral artifacts to contemporary paintings and jewelry. Through world-class exhibitions, colorful festivals, and artist showcases, the Heard celebrates both the history and culture of America's indigenous population, particularly the tribes of the southwestern United States. By providing a venue for Indian artists and culture bearers to share their ideas and talents with the world, the Heard prides itself in presenting the first-person voice of the American Indian.
It helps me kind of create a dialogue that I feel is important, and it's kind of like a reevaluation of self-identity, especially in this generation when there's such a heavy Western influence, and it's finding a way that I can create that dialogue and share that with other people.
Art, like music, is a bridge between societies, and it's a reflection of those shared values. Indian art is an opportunity for us to share those cultural perspectives in a way that other societies can understand that.
And so the Heard has this wonderful sense when you're here of you almost hear the voices of the artists, both of today and of the past.
With its unsurpassed collection of Indian art, financial support and priceless loaned art collections from members, and partnership with hundreds of Indian artists and tribal leaders, the Heard Museum is leading the movement to integrate Indian culture into our country's mainstream of art.
The mainstream, it's important for them to not only understand the traditional culture, the language, the belief systems, but also the understanding that it's part of the fabric of what we call the American spirit and of the history of our nation, and provides a perspective in helping this nation as we move forward.
We have many donors who have given us wonderful pieces over the years. And so our collection actually was collected by collectors to be the finest works at the time that were available. And so it's truly a magnificent collection.
The Heard Museum is truly a living museum, giving voice to a uniquely American people. Since it was founded in 1929 by Dwight and May Heard, the Heard Museum has been a jumping-off point for a journey into Indian country. Today, it's a world-class destination in itself, with festivals, art showcases, and 11 exhibition halls that take the visitor through a continuity of Native art and culture from ancient times to present day.
We have so many different types of exhibits and so much educational programming. We have the amenities of our campus. The Heard Museum is a cultural destination, and people come and spend the day with us and come again because they enjoy it so much.
From strolling through its sculpture garden in the Nichols Courtyard to dining at its Courtyard Cafe featuring Southwest-inspired cuisine, to its award-winning museum shops featuring authentic works purchased directly from American Indian artists, a day at the Heard is a journey into the history and culture of the Native American and a realization of the fine art that the Indian has given to our nation. For more than 80 years, the Heard Museum has been a landmark in Phoenix, where visitors from around the globe come to learn about the arts and cultures of the Native peoples of America.
Our mission is educational, and our mission is to educate people, all peoples, about the art and heritage and lifeways of the indigenous peoples of the Americas.
We're all different people in society, and we should all be working to preserve those special things about ourselves and not be so homogenized, I guess.
Experience over 40,000 works of art in 11 exhibition halls, sculpture-filled courtyards, shops, and cafes. Explore American Indian history through the voices of Native people while celebrating the creative innovations of some of today's most masterful artists. The Heard is a world-class museum, but more than a museum, it's a destination. For more information, visit heard.org.